Hello everyone, my name is Janina and this is my project for my Materiality studio, otherwise known as Visio. The objective of the studio is to redesign the waiting area in Vision Australia's office. The space must be a quiet area that is child-friendly. This is an opportunity to transform the space to one that is engaging and beneficial for children, their companions, and the Vision Australia community. After researching libraries and games, I decided to approach the project through an educational play perspective. Educational play is where learning is fostered through playing games and activities. Initial sketches were done to illustrate potential ideas for the space. The ideas cover the themes of geography and wildlife, as well as Braille spelling and storytelling. They also explore training various senses such as touch, hearing, and language skills. The initial ideas show a variety of skills that can be delivered through play. However, the ideas needed a better focus of which particular skills are required. Hence, I narrowed the scope of my project to help low vision or blind children train and prepare to read and write Braille. This is done by incorporating essential skills for Braille, namely fine motor or hand skills, orientation skills, and storytelling. I proceeded to conduct experiments of fine motor or hand skills with materials I found around the house and discovered different methods of hand movements that train the muscles of the hands. These movements include chaining, threading, and tying different materials. I've also played with different textures and materials and started forming a game inspired by the Connect the Dots game, where a child connects one element to another. After, the idea has been enhanced by connecting the game with a storybook. Children would use hand movements to physically move through a story by their hands. In this example, the hand movement shown is tracing. Hence, children would trace the character around the elements of a story, feeling different shapes and textures of each element. The character of the story becomes a stylus, for example, a caterpillar that moves from a leaf to a mushroom. Subsequently, I started to think about the form of the game, with some seating and bookshelves embedded in the design. This allows both the child and parent to utilize the game. With that, I've also incorporated the different activities or hand movements mentioned before to establish the levels of the game. Moving forward, I have finalized the design of the game, which is called Story Quest. The design's form is as illustrated, taking inspiration from a slice of pie. This form enables an open space for the seating that comes in 2 stacks. The caster wheels in the design enables it to be locked in place or unlocked to move around. There is also a maximized storage for books and game pegs, which is embedded underneath the seating. Thus, with this form, 2 modes of interaction can be achieved. First, a child can select a book to play the game. On the other hand, when there is no intention of playing the game, the design still encourages the child to read a book as it is displayed. In addition, both the child and parent can utilize it to simply sit and wait for their appointment. The maze is embedded on both sides of the wall, giving the child the choice to play 4 walls and perhaps play alongside other children or with other children. The game is initiated by the parent first placing the story's elements in the designated circular frame on the wall. Then, the parent reads off the story from a book. Meanwhile, the child moves the character peg along the paths on the wall to find the elements as mentioned chronologically in the story. The character peg, which is made from silicone, can be squeezed through to latch inside the path, move along the path, and unlatch to change paths. To allow replays of the game, different stories can be set up on the wall with the variety of elements, pegs, as well as levels of difficulty. The illustration demonstrates playing the story of the book A Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Thus, the child would move the caterpillar along the path, along the 4 different paths of a level. The levels are established by size, base, spacing, and complexity of path. The level gets harder as one goes up the wall. Lastly, this is how the concept would be incorporated into the space. The different colors and sectors also signify different levels of the game. The color code is inspired by traffic light colors, with red being the hardest. In addition, the sectors can also be moved for rearrangement purposes. In conclusion, the different levels and stories to be played and the flexible rearrangement of the sectors enables each visit to Vision Australia a different experience each time for the low vision or blind child. With this, I conclude my design proposition. Thank you for listening.